listening to the Holy Bible 1-Year Challenge with Master Storyteller Michael Wood, featuring the easy-to-read version and used by permission from Bible League International. Enjoy the show!
Hello everyone, welcome to day 12. We're continuing in the book of Genesis. The narrative now turns to Isaac and his descendants, namely Jacob and Esau. Esau is the red-haired hunter, and his twin brother is the weaker brother, who is arguably smarter, as you'll see in the coming transaction that costs Esau his birthright. Then the attention goes to their father, Isaac, as he, like his father Abraham, calls his wife his sister. Because she's so beautiful, he thinks some guys are gonna just take her. I guess that's the danger with marrying beautiful women in the ancient world. Just like a brand new well in a desert is a beautiful woman ready to be taken by a king, bandits, or worse. But King Abimelech has been down this road before. And at least, although he's in the land of the Philistines, he has a respect for the Lord and knows better that when Isaac is being successful, the Lord must be on his side. And so King Abimelech decides to make a deal with Isaac. Smart move. And then we get just a little glimpse of what happened to Esau after he loses his birthright at the end of chapter 26. We're also continuing in the New Testament in the book of Matthew. Jesus sends his disciples out on a mission. He gives them very specific instruction, and he warns them of trouble and how to deal with that trouble. But at the end of the day, they are to fear God more than people. Stay with us to hear all the details. If you enjoy the show, visit me at patreon.com/storymaster. You'll find the link in the description box below. By contributing as little as $1 per month, you will enable me to continue this ministry, and you'll get cool rewards too. Together, we're going to get through the Bible in 1 year. Let's get started. Genesis chapter 25. Abraham's death. Abraham took Keturah as his wife, and they had 6 sons: Zimran, Jokshan, Medan, Midian, Ishbak, and Shua. Jokshan was the father of Sheba and Dedan. The people of Ashur, Liam, and Latush were descendants of Dedan. The sons of Midian were Ephah, Epher, Hanok, Abida, and Elda. All these descendants of Abraham were from Keturah. Before Abraham died, he gave gifts to his sons who were from his slave women. Then he sent them to live in the east, away from Isaac. Abraham gave everything else he owned to Isaac. Abraham was 175 years old when he died. His last breath came after a long and satisfying life. He had seen many years go by, and now he joined his ancestors in death. His sons Isaac and Ishmael buried him in the cave of Machpelah. This is the cave he had bought from the Hittites. It is east of Mamre in the field of Ephron, the son of Zohar. They buried him there with his wife Sarah. After Abraham died, God blessed Isaac. He was living at Beer Lahai Roy. Ishmael's descendants. This is the record of Ishmael's family. Ishmael was the son of Abraham and Hagar, Sarah's Egyptian slave. These are the names of Ishmael's sons, the oldest to the youngest: Nebaioth, Kedar, Adbeel, Mibsam, Mishma, Duma, Massa, Hadad, Tema, Jetur, Naphish, and Kedema. These 12 sons of Ishmael were leaders over their own tribes, and the people of each tribe used the name of their leader for the place where they settled. Ishmael was 137 years old when he took his last breath and joined his ancestors who had gone before him. Ishmael's people settled in an area between Havilah and Shur, not far from the other descendants of Abraham. This is east of Egypt on the way to Ashur. Isaac's descendants. This is the record of Abraham's son Isaac. When Isaac was 40 years old, he married Rebekah, the daughter of Bethuel, an Aramean from northern Mesopotamia. She was also the sister of Laban. For a long time, Rebekah was not able to have children, so Isaac prayed to the Lord for her. The Lord heard Isaac's prayer, and Rebekah became pregnant. She began to feel two babies wrestling with each other inside her. So she asked the Lord,
"Why is this happening to me?"
The Lord said to her,
The two sons inside you will become two nations. They will come from you, but go their separate ways. One will be stronger than the other. The one born first will serve the younger one.
When the time came, Rebekah had twins. The first baby was born with red skin. Since his skin was like a hairy robe, they named him Esau. When the second baby was born, he was holding tightly to Esau's heel, so they named him Jacob. Isaac was 60 years old when Jacob and Esau were born. When the boys grew up, Esau became a skilled hunter. He loved to be out in the open fields, but Jacob was a quiet man who stayed at home. Isaac loved Esau because he enjoyed the meat from the wild animals Esau hunted, but Rebekah loved Jacob. One day, Esau came in from the fields, tired and hungry. Jacob was boiling a pot of soup. Esau said to Jacob,
I'm starving. Give me some of that red stuff right now.
That's why people started calling him Edom. Jacob replied,
You can have some if you give me your rights as the firstborn son.
Esau said,
All right. If I die of hunger, those rights will not help me anyway.
But Jacob said,
First, promise me with an oath that you will give your rights to me.
So Esau gave Jacob this promise and traded his rights as the firstborn son. Then Jacob gave Esau some bread and some of the bean soup. When Esau finished eating and drinking, he got up and left. This showed how little Esau cared about his rights as the firstborn son. Genesis 26. Isaac lies to Abimelech. Now there was a famine in the land. The same thing had happened during Abraham's life. But this time, Isaac went to the town of Gerar to see King Abimelech of the Philistines. The Lord had appeared to Isaac and said,
Do not go down to Egypt. I will show you the land where I want you to live. Live in this land as a foreigner, and I will be with you and bless you. I will do what I promised to Abraham your father. I will give you and your family all these lands. I will give you as many descendants as there are stars in the sky, and I will give them all these lands. It will be through your family that all the nations on earth will find blessings. I will make this happen because your father Abraham listened to me and did what I told him to do. He obeyed my commands, my rules, and my laws.
So Isaac settled in Gerar. When the men there saw Rebekah, they asked Isaac who she was. He said, She is my sister. He was afraid to tell them Rebekah was his wife. She was very beautiful, and he was afraid they would kill him to get her. After Isaac had lived there a long time, one day King Abimelech looked down from a window and saw Isaac with Rebekah. He was hugging and kissing her. Abimelech called for Isaac and said, I can see that this woman is your wife. Why did you tell us she was your sister? Isaac said to him, Because I was afraid someone would kill me to get her. Abimelech said, You were wrong to do this to us. What if one of our men had taken your wife to be his own? That would have made us all guilty of a great sin. So Abimelech gave a warning to his people. Anyone who harms this man or his wife will be put to death. Isaac's success brings trouble. Isaac planted crops in that place, and in that same year he harvested 100 times what he planted. The Lord blessed him so much that he became rich. He continued to have success and became a very wealthy man. He had flocks of sheep and goats and herds of cattle. He also had many servants. He had so much wealth that the Philistines were jealous of him. So they ruined his wells by filling them with sand. These were wells that the servants of his father Abraham had dug many years before. Finally, Abimelech said to Isaac, "It is time for you to move away, because you have become too powerful for us." So Isaac left and set up camp in the valley of Gerar, where he settled. He cleaned out the wells dug in Abraham's time, which the Philistines had filled with sand after Abraham died. Isaac also gave them the same names his father had given them. Isaac's servants were digging another well in the valley and found a spring that flowed out of the ground. But the men who herded sheep in Gerar Valley began arguing with Isaac's servants. They said,
This water is ours.
So Isaac named that well Esek, because the men there had argued with him. Then Isaac's servants dug another well, but there was an argument over this well too. So Isaac named this well Sitnah. Isaac moved from there and dug another well. No one came to argue about this well, so he named it Rehoboth. He said, "Now the Lord has given us plenty of room to grow. We will have great success here." After some time, Isaac left there and moved to Beersheba. The night he arrived, the Lord appeared to him. The Lord said,
I am the God your father Abraham worshipped. Do not be afraid, because I am with you. I will bless you with many descendants, because of the promise I made to my servant Abraham.
Then Isaac built an altar there and worshiped the Lord. He set up camp in that place, and his servants dug a well. One day, King Abimelech came from Gerar to see Isaac. He brought with him Ahuzath, his advisor, and Phicol, his army commander. Isaac asked, "Why are you here? Last time I saw you, you spoke to me like an enemy. You told me to go away." They answered, "Now we know for sure that the Lord is with you. So we think we should make promises to each other with an oath. We want to make an agreement with you. Promise that you will not harm us. We did not mistreat you, but were always kind to you. We sent you away in peace, and now we see that the Lord has blessed you." Then Isaac had a big dinner for them, and they all ate and drank together. Early the next morning, they all made a promise to each other. They promised with an oath that they would not harm each other. Then Isaac told them goodbye, and they left in peace. That same day, Isaac's servants came and told him about the well they had dug. They said, "We have found water." So Isaac named that well Sheba. People still call the town there Beersheba. Esau's wives. When Esau was 40 years old, he married 2 Hittite women. They were Judith, the daughter of Beeri, and Basemath, the daughter of Elon. These wives of Esau made life miserable for Isaac and Rebekah. Matthew chapter 10, verses 1 to 31. Jesus sends his apostles on a mission. Jesus called his 12 followers together. He gave them power over evil spirits. With this power, they could free people from those spirits and heal every kind of disease and sickness. Here are the names of these men, the 12 apostles. Simon, who was also called Peter, Andrew, the brother of Peter, James, the son of Zebedee, John, the brother of James, Philip, Bartholomew, Thomas, Matthew, the tax collector, James, the son of Alphaeus, Thaddeus, Simon, the zealot, Judas Iscariot, the one who later turned against Jesus. Jesus sent all 12 of them out with these instructions. Don't go to the non-Jewish people, and don't go into any town where the Samaritans live, but go to the people of Israel. They are like sheep that are lost. But when you go, tell them this: God's kingdom is now very near. Heal the sick, bring the dead back to life, heal the people who are suffering from dreaded skin diseases, and force demons out of people. I give you these powers freely, so help others freely. Don't carry any money with you, gold or silver or copper. Don't carry a bag or extra clothes or sandals or a walking stick. A worker deserves to be fed. When you enter a city or town, find some worthy person there and stay in his home until you leave. When you enter that home, say, "Peace be with you." If the people in that home welcome you, they are worthy of your peace. May they have the peace you wished for them. But if they don't welcome you, they are not worthy of your peace. Take back the peace you wished for them. And if the people in a home or a town refuse to welcome you or listen to you, leave that place and shake the dust off your feet. I can assure you that on Judgment Day, it will be worse for that town than for the people of Sodom and Gomorrah. Jesus warns about trouble. Listen carefully. I am sending you out, and you will be in danger like sheep among wolves. So you must be as smart as snakes, but also be like doves that don't hurt anyone. Be prepared for trouble, because there are people who will arrest you and take you to be judged. They will whip you in their synagogues. Because you follow me, they will make you defend yourselves before governors and kings. But this will happen so that you can tell about me to those kings and governors and to the non-Jewish people. When you are arrested, don't worry about what to say or how you should say it. At that time, you will be given the words to say. It will not really be you speaking. The Spirit of your Father will be speaking through you. Brothers will turn against their own brothers and hand them over to be killed. Fathers will hand over their own children to be killed. Children will turn against their own parents and will have them killed. Everyone will hate you because you follow me. But those who remain faithful to the end will be saved. When people mistreat you in one town, go to another town. I promise you that you will not finish going to all the towns of Israel before I come to rule as the Son of Man. Students are not treated better than their teacher. Slaves are not treated better than their master. Students should be happy to be treated the same as their teacher. And slaves should be happy to be treated the same as their master. Those people call me the ruler of demons, and I am the head of the family. So it is even more certain that they will insult you, the members of the family. So don't be afraid of those people. Everything that is hidden will be shown. Everything that is secret will be made known. I tell you all this privately, but I want you to tell it publicly. I whisper secrets in your ear, but I want you to announce them openly where everyone can hear. Don't be afraid of people. They can kill the body, but they cannot kill the soul. The only one you should fear is God, the one who can send the body and the soul to be destroyed in hell. When birds are sold, 2 small birds cost only a penny, but not even one of those little birds can die without your Father knowing it. God even knows how many hairs are on your head, so don't be afraid. You are worth more than a whole flock of birds. Proverbs chapter 1, verses 20 to 33. Wisdom shouts her warning.
Wisdom is shouting in the streets. She is crying out in the marketplace. She is calling out where the noisy crowd gather.
Fools, how long will you love being ignorant? How long will you make fun of wisdom? How long will you hate knowledge? Pay attention when I correct you. I want to tell you everything I know and give you all my knowledge. I tried to help, but you refused to listen. I offered my hand, but you turned away from me. You ignored my advice and refused to be corrected. So I will laugh at your troubles and make fun of you when disaster comes. Disasters will strike you like a storm. Problems will pound you like a strong wind. Trouble and misery will weigh you down. Fools will call for me, but I will not answer. They will look for me, but they will not find me. That is because they hated knowledge. They refused to fear and respect the Lord. They ignored my advice and refused to be corrected. So they will have to suffer for the way they lived. They will be filled with the pain they planned for others. Fools die because they refuse to follow wisdom. They are content to follow their foolish ways, and that will destroy them. But those who listen to me will live in safety and comfort. They will have nothing to fear.
Thank you, everyone. That should do it for day 12. Please join us for day 13. Young Jacob is up to his old tricks again, and this time he tricks his own father. But then God gives Jacob some crazy dream, and that changes his perspective on life. And in the New Testament, Jesus continues to give instructions to his followers. And while John the Baptist sits in a prison cell, he sends his men to ask Jesus a question. We hope you enjoyed today's verses. Be sure to leave us a positive review and to share this podcast with your friends and family. Please join us for the next episode as we experience the Bible in 1 year.
Did you know we offer online courses in creative writing, literature, and web design? Visit us at storymaster.online to learn more.